Let me tell you why I'm so happy. Because it looks like there's a new couple in Hollywood. Aaron, Pierre, that's Teyana. They have been spotted together several times recently, but they seemingly made it official after the Oscars. So they both posted these pictures.
It all started with a post that no one expected. Teyana Taylor, the woman known for her grace, her strength, and her silence in times of chaos, finally broke that silence, and she did it for someone no one thought she would defend. The internet didn't even have time to blink before everything exploded. The comments, the headlines, the reactions, everyone was stunned. Because what she said didn't just defend Aaron Pierre, it took a direct hit at her ex, Iman Shumpert. But before we dive into that viral moment that had everyone gasping, we have to rewind just a little. Because this story isn't just about a single post, it's about months of tension, pain, and quiet wars behind the scenes. It's about a woman who was done being silent, and a man who couldn't let go of what he lost. For months, rumors about Teyana and Aaron had been swirling. Every little interaction between them turned into a headline. Every photo, every smile, every red carpet glance, fans were convinced something more was happening. And even though Teyana tried to keep it professional, people could feel it, the chemistry, the comfort, the way she seemed lighter around him. Then came the interviews. Aaron Pierre, the rising star from the Underground Railroad, was being asked about Teyana everywhere he went. And though he tried to keep things respectful, you could tell he admired her. The way he talked about her talent, her energy, her drive. It wasn't the typical Hollywood flattery. There was something real, something deep behind those words. And that's when things took a turn. Because right when fans started to get comfortable with the idea of Teyana maybe finding happiness again, Iman Shumpert stepped in. And he didn't come quietly. It began with a cryptic post on his Instagram story. Just a black screen with white text. Funny how loyalty fades when the lights come on. No name, no tag. But everyone knew exactly who he's talking about. The timing was too perfect, just days after Aaron and Teyana were spotted together at a private event. Fans went wild. Some defended Iman, saying he had every right to feel hurt. Others accused him of being bitter and jealous, but Iman didn't stop there. Days later, he went live, and that's when the real drama started. He didn't say Teyana's name outright, but the message was clear. He talked about people forgetting where they came from, about men pretending to be protectors just to slide into broken spaces, and then he said something that made everyone's jaw drop. Some dudes out here acting like they're saving somebody when they're just looking for shine. I see you. The internet exploded. Within hours, fans quit that moment, tagging Teyana and Aaron, flooding the comments with theories. People were asking, was Iman talking about Aaron? Was he trying to warn Teyana? But what no one expected was how Teyana would respond, because Teyana Taylor, the same woman who kept her divorce private, who said she wanted peace and maturity, finally snapped. It started subtle. She posted a photo of herself in the studio with a simple caption, "Peace is louder than pride." That alone would have been enough to get people guessing. But hours later, she followed it up with something that changed everything. She went live. And when Teyana Taylor goes live, you know it's serious. The video started calm, just her sitting in her car, no makeup, her energy heavy but composed. You could tell she wasn't there to entertain. She was there to speak her truth. "I don't usually do this," she began softly, "but I'm tired of people playing with my peace, playing with my name, and acting like they know my life." Her voice cracked slightly, but she didn't break. She went on to say how people twist stories to fit their own pain. How sometimes the ones yelling the loudest are the ones who did the most damage. And then, the part that stunned everyone. "I don't care what anybody says about me and Aaron. That man has been nothing but kind. respectful and supportive. He's not the reason anything ended, so stop blaming him for things he had nothing to do with. The internet froze. This was the first time Teyana had ever publicly acknowledged Aaron in any personal way. And not only did she defend him, she did it while subtly checking Iman. She didn't say his name, but her tone said everything. "You don't get to paint me as the bad guy because I decided to heal," she continued. "You don't get to pop in and out of my peace whenever you feel insecure. I've carried enough pain for both of us." In those few minutes, Teyana Taylor turned the internet upside down. Fans flooded her comments with support, praising her for standing up for herself and calling out the manipulation she'd clearly endured for years. But the story didn't end there, because Iman wasn't about to stay silent either. Just hours after Teyana's live went viral, Iman posted again. This time, a photo of his daughter with the caption, "I'll always protect what's mine." People saw it for what it was, another job. A way to remind the world that he still felt ownership over the life he once shared with Teyana. But for fans, it crossed a line. The narrative quickly shifted. What started as curiosity over Teyana and Aaron's rumored romance turned into a conversation about control. Ego and letting go. Comment sections turned into debates. One fan wrote, "Iman had his chance. Let that woman breathe." Another said, "He's not mad about her moving on. He's mad she's happy without him." Meanwhile, Pierre stayed silent through it all. No interviews, no tweets, no cryptic posts. And that silence spoke volumes. Because while chaos raged online, he was seen quietly supporting Teyana, showing up at her events, walking beside her without drama, never overshadowing her spotlight. That calm presence started to win people over. Fans began calling him the piece she deserves. And for the first time in years, people weren't talking about Teyana's heartbreak. They were talking about her healing. Still, deep down, everyone could feel that tension bubbling beneath the surface. Iman wasn't done. There was too much pride, too much history, too many wounds that hadn't healed. And soon, things took another shocking turn. A leaked clip began circulating online, allegedly from a behind-the-scenes moment during one of Iman's podcast appearances. In it, he's heard saying, "You can't replace real love with a movie fling." Some people think acting roles turn into reality. Fans went ballistic. They took it as confirmation that he was still obsessed with the Teyana-Aaron connection, that he couldn't separate her new chapter from his own insecurities. But instead of firing back, Teyana posted something that melted the internet's heart. She uploaded a picture of her daughter's hand holding hers, with the caption, "My peace is my purpose. That's all I'll protect." It was quiet. It was graceful. And yet, it hit harder than any diss track, any interview, any post Iman had made, because that's what made Teyana different. She didn't fight with noise, she fought with peace. Over the next few weeks, fans started noticing something even more surprising. Teyana looked genuinely happy again. Smiling at events, laughing freely, spending time with close friends, and yes, occasionally being spotted with Aaron. There was something unspoken between them, not forced, not rushed, just honest. And when Aaron finally broke his silence in a quiet interview weeks later, he didn't talk about the drama, the headlines, or the rumors. When asked about Teyana, he simply said, "She's one of the strongest people I've ever met. She deserves peace." That's all I'll say. That single sentence flipped everything. Fans who were once skeptical now started rooting for them. The support was overwhelming. Meanwhile, Iman's energy started to shift. His posts became darker, more reflective, almost regretful. People wondered if he was finally realizing what he'd lost, not just Teyana, but the peace that came with her. And then came the final twist no one saw coming. At a recent public event, Iman and Teyana unexpectedly crossed paths for the first time since their split. The cameras were everywhere, waiting for that one headline-making moment, and they got it. The air instantly grew heavy with tension, the kind you can almost feel through the screen. Teyana stood tall, graceful as ever, while Iman hesitated for just a second. Caught between familiarity and distance, the flash of cameras captured everything, the polite smile that didn't quite reach her eyes. The way Aaron subtly stepped back, quietly giving them space to share that unspoken moment. Teyana didn't flinch or falter. She carried herself like the queen she's always been, calm, poised, and deeply self-assured. That brief exchange spoke volumes without a single word being said. It was closure, pure and silent, the kind that doesn't need apologies or explanations. Just two people who once shared a life, now standing as strangers with respect and maturity. It hurt, yes, but it also healed. And as Teyana walked away, head held high, it was clear. Sometimes, strength isn't in confrontation, it's in letting go with grace. Afterward, fans online were emotional. One comment summed it up perfectly. Sometimes peace is the loudest revenge. And that's exactly what Teyana did. She didn't drag, she didn't expose, she rose. She defended someone she cared about without tearing anyone down. Because for her, this wasn't about choosing sides, it was about choosing herself. And that's what makes this story hit differently. It's not just another Hollywood love triangle or messy breakup. It's a real woman reclaiming her voice. After years of being silenced, a man learning too late that love doesn't survive control, and another man quietly showing what respect looks like. As the dust settles, one thing is clear. Teyana Taylor has finally found peace in her own story. And no amount of gossip, shade, or heartbreak can take that away from her. And maybe that's why her fans love her so fiercely, because she reminds them that even in chaos, grace wins.